I am the astrologer for Light Body. I have studied astrology for way too many years, but and the way I present astrology is not like it's kind of like I'm an eclectic astrologer. I take a little bit of this and a little bit of that. We mix it together, and that's what comes out. So, if you're expecting traditional astrology, that's not going to happen. The topic tonight is going to be about the sun. The sun has been, oh God, radiating its energy to me. And even though the sun is in Virgo as we speak, we're just going to talk about the generalities, I guess, about the sun. I'm going to give you a few mind candy before we start the sun. A little bit is the sun moves through space at the average velocity of 450 miles per hour, 450,000 miles an hour. Now, I mean, I just thought that that was pretty interesting that as we are talking within this hour, we will have moved in our solar system 450,000 miles. Now, I think that's pretty interesting. It takes 230 million years for the sun to complete one cycle around the Milky Way. I think that's interesting. And it's a near circular path. And actually, we are going 137 miles per second. So these are just interesting facts. Going back to our Earth rotates 1,000 miles per hour at the equator, a little bit faster at the poles, and it's traveling 67,000 miles an hour. That's 18 miles per second, 18.5 miles a second. And it takes us 290, let's see, around the Milky Way, 290 years. I think that if we're with the sun, it probably go the 400, let's see, we go, oh God. Oh, the sun and the moon. I mean, the Earth and the sun move around the Milky Way together at 490,000 miles per hour. I think that's, so I just thought I'd bring that in to know that as we're speaking, we're moving very, 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 very fast through space. And I just thought that that would be a little bit of info that we're talking about. But now, as of last time, Tammy had a question about a stargate, and that's what we're going to be talking about. Our sun that we see up in the sky is actually a star. It's comparable to all the stars that we see in the sky, but ours is just up close and personal. And it is the guardian of at least 7 planets as we know it right now, which are Mercury, Venus, our Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, oh, more than that, 9. I'm sorry, I meant 9. Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. And Pluto, I consider a planet. Like, the scientists are trying to like discount it, but I know that I've used Pluto for many years, and it definitely has its transformative qualities. So the reason I wanted to talk about the sun, and then I'm going to get back to what I wanted to tell Tammy about a stargate, is that the sun has been coming to me probably for the last year. The energies of the sun have been coming to me. Now, what does that mean? You've heard people talk about light codes, and you've heard people talk about light language. And I really didn't understand what that meant until one morning I was laying in bed. And the reason I'm telling you this is because each and every one of you may have the chance to do this at one time or another. I didn't expect this to happen. So people talk about light codes, and I'm thinking, whoa, what is a light code? What does that mean? And I know a light code is about information. So I'm laying in bed one morning and I don't have curtains on my windows. And the bright sunlight is coming through. It's like 9 in the morning. I think it was in the middle of winter time. And my eyes were still closed, but the sun came through so brightly. And do you ever lay out in the sun and you have your eyes closed and you can feel the sun from behind your eyes? You can actually kind of looks it doesn't look dark. It looks really light and everything like that. Well, anyway, I just started noticing these twinkling golden lights, kind of like. And I just thought, well, that's really, really interesting. And I don't know if each and every one of you have had the experience, but did you ever look at those pictures with all the dots and then you disfocus your eyes and you see an actual picture? Does everybody know what I'm talking about? There are these little dots, and then you look at it a certain way and a picture appears if you just focus your eyes. Does everybody, can anybody say that they've experienced that? You have. Pialo, have you, Sherry? Okay. Edna, I don't know if anybody, but anyway, so I have my eyes closed and this bright light is coming through and I'm seeing these sparkles, kind of like golden sparkles. And in my inner eye, I disfocused, and I didn't know that I was going to do this. I disfocused a little bit, and all of a sudden, these sparkles started making sacred geometry and geometric shapes. And I was just totally amazed. And I'm thinking, oh my God. So this is what light codes look like. So that said, I thought, oh my God, so the next morning I'm laying in bed and I'm going to do this again, although it didn't happen. And a couple weeks later, the same thing happened. The light was coming in, and I think I was just trying too hard. But that said, those light codes that are coming through, I realized are emanating through our sun as we speak. And the sun is growing through great transition right now. And if you notice, all you see, like on if you look at the computer, they'll say the sun is having these flares and it's having this happen and that happen, and there's a possibility if there's going to be a big blackout on the planet and all this kind of stuff. Well, the sun, as humans are going through their changes right now, the sun is also going through changes. And I wanted to talk a little bit about that. Now, we have heard that the sun is going into the Aquarian age. What does that mean? The different ages are about 2,100 years. And it takes about 25 and a half to 26,000 years ago for this whole cycle to be complete. Now, each of these ages have a particular quality to them. And the quality of the last 2,100 years has been the age of Pisces. What is the age of Pisces? Well, there are different definitions of it. Someone could say that we went out of ourselves to have authority figures, where we had the priests tell us what to do, or the governments tell us what to do. It was the age of religion. All the religions came in and they said, you have to do this, 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 and this to be a good person. It was ruled by water. It had to do about intuition. It had to do with monastic living. That means you would go to the sacred mystery schools and you would meditate day and night to have self-realization. Well, all of that is ending right now, and we are gradually moving into a new age, because what we have learned in the age of Pisces is that we no longer have to go outside of ourselves to discover who we are. We're going into an age of self-awareness. Now, the Aquarian age doesn't happen overnight. It's not like one day it's the age of Pisces and one day it's the age of Aquarius. It happens over a gradual period of time. It can happen 50 years, 100 years. Some people say it's 500 years, but it gradually starts moving in. So all of a sudden we start thinking in a brand new way. It's kind of like you take a dimmer light, and the dimmer light makes things bright or not so bright. So we are in the age of Pisces, and all of a sudden you take that dimmer light and it gets less and less and less. And then as we go into the age of Aquarius, we start turning it the other way and becomes more and more and more. So we are going from an age of the collective in a way of being dictated of how it should be. This is the way we should go into religion. This is the way we should follow the governments. This is the way you should be. You should be this, this, or that. Okay, so that said, we are now going into the age of Aquarius, which is the age of technology and is also the age of self-discovery. And that's what each and every one of us are doing in this group right now. We are taking our lineages from the past and we are going back to the past and we're deciding what is important, what is not important, so that we can discover who we are as individuals. And as we discover our own unique qualities, we are working together as a unit. It's sister and brotherhood. That's what it's all about. So the sun right now is moving from the age of being told what to do to going within yourself and knowing how to do that. So that said, the sun has been coming kind of like, and it's not coming to me, but awareness of the sun's energy has been radiating to me, saying that things are speeding up exponentially. It just is. It is. It is. And so we are going from understanding the lower self of who we think we are, going to the higher self. We are going from reflecting light, going outside of ourselves and understanding that this was what the world is around us, to understanding that everything is within ourselves. We are becoming, going from being self-centered and following all the rules to self-centering. We are becoming more and more of our true selves. That's what's happening. So, okay. This is a lot of information, but let me see. So what we are doing right now is actually, as we wake up to who we are waking up as a group soul of humanity. We are waking up and working together. So I don't know if anybody has any questions so far about what I'm talking about. So that said, I also had in 2011, right before 2012, I went to this teacher. I don't know if anybody knows who Drumvalo Melchizedek is. And he did a meditation, and he was helping people open up their Merkaba, so to speak, which when I went there didn't happen. But anyway, you know, I went there with the intention of finding out what that is. But I did discover something. And this is going back to what Tammy Lee asked last month, stargates. I've heard about stargates before, but I didn't know what they were. And I also have a definition of what a stargate is, but I'm going to talk to you about my experience. And the only reason I'm giving you these experiences that I'm going through is because it might give you some insight that you can experience that yourself. So, like when you have your eyes closed and you're looking up at the sun, you can see that emanating light. And maybe if you just focus a little bit, you might be able to see those light codes that I'm talking about. And these light codes all have meaning. So these are exercises that maybe you can experience. But, oh boy, I think I dropped my paper. Oh boy, where'd it go? Oh well, I had a paper about stargates and it disappeared. Oh, here it is. A stargate. Oh, shoot. I don't know why this. Anyway, it refers to a door to other worlds or other dimensions. So that said, I didn't know what a Stargate was either. You know, I saw the film The Stargate with Kurt Russell. I think he was in that. And they went through this big, kind of like round disc that was discovered in Egypt way long ago. And they went through it and they were in a different dimension. And so back in 2011, when I did this meditation with Drumfalo, the next I went into this deep meditation. You know, he had you go with your angels and all this, and the next thing I knew, I was looking at the sun, and it was kind of like an etheric sun. I mean, I wasn't looking up at the sun in the sky, but in my mind, I was swimming with the dolphins and everything like that. And the next thing I knew, the dolphins were taking me up to a disc which looked like the sun, and I knew it was the sun. And all of a sudden, we went through the sun. And as we went through the sun, I end up in the star system of Sirius. Okay. I thought, oh my God, that's amazing. That's amazing. Now, I'm not telling you this. I'm only telling you this that we all have the ability to go through these stargates. It's not, and I haven't had an experience like that since, but it gave me insight to what that is. It's going from one dimension to another. And when we look up at the physical sun, which can be very blinding to our eyes, there's also an inner sun that we can go through and it can take us just about anywhere. Let me see. There's somebody. Oh, people are saying things in the chats. Okay, it says this is the time of solar flares. Were predicted to be their highest around now. You can do Tibetan sun gazing so you don't have to hurt yourself. Yes, Tibetan sun gazing is as the sun rises, you kind of like lower your eyes a bit, and maybe Jacob has experienced this, where you kind of let some of the sunlight come in and it opens up these codes within yourself. And he ate white pyramid shaped cakes that had gold among other things to allow him to open the stargates. Well, we have the ability to go through these stargates ourselves. And the reason I'm bringing in the sun right now, because these stargates are the stargate of our own sun is offering us info to each one of us to give us insight to that inner growth within ourselves, to our higher self, to the heart of the sun within ourselves. Now, one other thing. Our sun is a star, as I said in the beginning. And our solar system has been influenced by different star systems. One of them is the Pleiades. One of them is Sirius. It can be Andromeda. It can be Antares. It can be Aldebaran. But all these star systems come through our solar stargate, our sun. And as it comes to our sun, it allows us to experience each one of these other stargates. So back in May, I think it was May, there was an eclipse of the sun at a very late degree of Aries, and actually it was opening up the Sirian Stargate, which only opens usually once a year. But this particular time, because our sun is going through different transformational experiences, it's aligning with the Sirian Stargate, and it's opening up each and every one of us so that we can develop and change the light codes within our soul essence, our authenticity, our soul self. So that started in May. And as we are going to the fall, another eclipse is happening, and we are going to go through another layer of that Sirian Stargate activating through our Stargate of our own sun. We have the ability to eliminate parts of our life that no longer serve us and help us embrace new parts that will take us to other parts of our multi-dimensionality. All of that is happening as we speak, and it's speeding up so that we can go into this new age of Aquarius. It gives us the ability to embrace our individuality in our own unique way so that we can interact with other people in humanity and build a cohesive way of being where we work with each other and not against each other. We embrace each person's unique gifts, and they will embrace our gifts. So we work together to harmonize and bring ourselves to a different level of working together. So let me see what else I have here. So we are moving from having the sun outside of us and being our guide to bringing the sun within our own heart. We are taking the heart of that sun and opening it up within ourselves to discover new parts of our individuality and refining who we are as individuals. Now, the sun is in Virgo as we speak. And the qualities of Virgo is discrimination. It has to do with critiquing, but also it is dealing with our everyday needs. So right now we are going to do a little exploring within our sun as we speak, and we are going to see how we are going to translate the energies that are coming within ourselves through each of the planets.